Chapter 29, Valencia. 48 hours ago, I was just a regular girl observing wildlife. Now I'm walking with a psychic to the house of a boy I don't know so I can find out if he's missing or not. Life is funny, isn't it? Virgil lives in a nice neighborhood, just like Kaori said. The houses are twice the size of the houses on my street. When I mention it to Kaori, she just says, yeah, his dad's a doctor. Then she waves it away like it's the least important thing to be thinking about right now. And maybe she's right. I was just making an observation. To be honest, something about the big houses intimidates me, and I'm already nervous. I'm not shy or anything, but I didn't really feel like knocking on the front door of a house belonging to someone I didn't know. But Kaori had explained once again that if Virgil's parents or Lola thought he was with Kaori when he was really off doing something else, something he shouldn't be doing, then he could get in big trouble. He probably isn't, Kaori had said as we made our way to the boys' neighborhood. He's not exactly the type who goes off doing something he shouldn't be doing, just like he's not the type to miss an appointment. But you never know. People are an enigma. So here I am. And Virgil's house is 1 block away. Kaori stops me, and she and Jen give me very serious looks, like I'm a spy going on a secret mission. Here's what you do, Kaori says. Knock on the door and ask if Virgil's home. Thanks for spelling it out for me, I say. When Jen giggles behind her hand, Kaori shoots her a look. I'm serious, says Kaori. His Lola is very perceptive. I think she's one of us. She puts her hand on her chest to show me that us meant psychics. If he's not home, just say thanks and say you'll stop back later. Then we'll know what's going on, one way or another. But what if he is home? I could already feel the heat of embarrassment. Maybe I wouldn't be so nervous if it was a girl's house, but the fact that it's a boy in a big fancy neighborhood makes my stomach flip around to the point of nausea. I don't exactly talk to boys on a regular basis, and I definitely don't go to their houses. Then tell him to come outside and meet us, says Kaori, glancing over my shoulder. We'll wait right here. Jen taps my arm and smiles up at me. You don't have to worry that he'll freak out or anything, she says. Virgil's really nice, and he's shy, like I said before. He even has a pet rat. She pulls at the ends of her jump rope and shakes it loose. It splays across the hot cement and dangles near the toes of her sneakers. Really? I say. This is an interesting development. Most people don't like rats, but they make good pets. Rats are really smart and curious, and they're always up for fun and adventure. It would be nice to have a pet rat. But I'd never ask my parents for one. I could just imagine the looks on their faces. Now Kaori is tapping my shoulder, so I'll know to look at her. She's really good at the how-tos. And at the same time giving Jen a little shove. It's not a rat, she says. It's a guinea pig. Oh, I love guinea pigs, I say. I had one when I was really little, but it died. Her name was Lilliput. I'd almost forgotten about Lilliput. She had very long hair, and it was all different colors. Light brown, dark brown, and black mixed together. I can't remember when we got her because I was so little, but I remember feeding her hay and watching her drink out of the bottle in her cage. She died while I was at preschool. When I came home, my dad had already buried her in the backyard. I cried because I didn't get to say goodbye. Lilliput, that's a cute name, says Jen as she positions her rope for jumping. Lilliput is the name of an island from a book called Gulliver's Travels. In the book, the explorer, Lemuel Gulliver, travels to all these different lands after a shipwreck. The first place is Lilliput, an island where the people are less than 6 inches tall. I liked the story, but I liked the name more, Lilliput. It sounded like a place where little tiny people would live. I'm just about to tell all this to Jen and ask what Virgil's guinea pig is named when Kaori starts waving toward the house behind me. Hurry up, she says. We need to find out what's going on. All right, I say. I turn and walk toward the house. I try to walk all nonchalant-like so they don't see how nervous I am. There aren't any cars in the driveway. Maybe no one's home. I walk up the stone pathway. It's not like the house is a mansion or anything, but it's big. 2 stories tall, with a garage that fits 3 cars. There's even a knocker on the front door shaped like a horseshoe. I lift it up, knock 3 times, and wait. I play with the straps of my bag. After about 5 seconds, I decide no one's home. In one way, it's a relief. But then again, it would be better if he was home, because that would mean that Kaori's friend is safe and sound. Then the door opens. I know right away it's his Lola, which Kaori told me means grandmother, because she looks about 100 years old. She's small, shorter than me, and really skinny. She doesn't smile. She's not exactly mean looking, but not exactly friendly either. She glances at my hearing aids, but only for a second. Um, I say, is Virgil home? She lifts her chin like she didn't hear me correctly. Her hand is still on the doorknob. Virgil? She says. For a second, I'm worried. I didn't say his name correctly. Maybe his name isn't Virgil after all. Maybe I put the pieces of the puzzle together incorrectly. Yes? I say. It comes out like a question. No, Virgil isn't home. He went out this morning. What is your name? My chest and neck feel hot. My name? I reply stupidly. Yes, said Lola, so I can tell him you came. Oh, I clear my throat. My name is, Valencia. Valencia, she says. I'm not sure if she's teasing me or being mean. It's hard to tell at first, but then her eyes soften and she smiles. I was expecting you. You were? Well, I was expecting something. I expected her to say something normal like, I'll tell him you stopped by, so I don't know how to respond. Your mother blessed you with a good name, she continues. Valencia Cathedral is one of the most important cathedrals in the world. It's in Spain. Oh, I didn't know that. Maybe your mother does. I doubt it. Lola looks like she's considering this. You should tell her. She might like to know that. She picked a good, strong name. I think she knows already, I say. She's not the type to question her choices. Lola laughs. Her whole face crinkles up when she does. She kind of reminds me of a cackling witch, but not in a bad way. I like your mother, says Lola. That makes me smile, although I'm not sure why, because I consider my mother to be the biggest pain in the world. Does Virgilio have your phone number? Lola says. I will tell him to type you a message when he gets home. She motions her hand like she's tapping on a cell phone, and I realize she's talking about texting. I could have just said yes, but instead I blurt out no, which is the truth, and next thing you know, she's waving me inside so she can write it down. I look toward Kaori and Jen and shrug. They're too far away for me to see their faces. Jen is jump roping. She's pretty fast, too. I don't realize how hot it was outside until I step into Virgil's house and feel the cool buzz of the air conditioning. Lola walks ahead of me toward a big kitchen. I close the door and follow. She starts rummaging through a drawer. Her mouth is moving, but I can't tell what she's saying because she's looking at the drawer instead of me. It's funny how people talk to things like drawers instead of the person right across from them. I don't want to bend down and stare at her face because that would just be weird. So instead, I turn and look casually at this big bookshelf against the wall. I don't bother with the books, though. Instead, I stare right at a framed family picture. There are 6 people in the photo. 4 of them are smiling. Big, shiny, perfect smiles. 2 of them aren't. One is Lola. She has a faint scowl on her face, like she's ready to get the picture taken over with. The other is a boy. He's not scowling exactly. It looks like he's trying to make an effort to fake smile, but he just couldn't get up the energy. I know right away this is Virgil, and I know right away why Kaori's description sounded so familiar. I know him. I search my memory for his face, and it comes to me right away. He's in the resource room every Thursday, just like me. We never talked or anything, but he seems nice, quiet. When Lola taps me on the shoulder, I jump. Who knew I was so jittery? She's holding a pen and a scrap of paper and shaking it under my nose. Did you hear me? She says. She's asking me to write my name and number on the paper. No, I'm sorry. I motion toward my hearing aids. There was a girl in my village who was deaf, Lola says after I give the paper back to her with my information. Virgil is going to be really confused when he gets it, but oh well, what's done is done. People talked around her like she wasn't there because they didn't think she was paying attention. They figure, no use hiding our secrets if she can't hear us, but she heard everything. Lola leaned forward and tapped the folded corner of her right eye. She heard with her eyes. I wonder what kind of secrets that girl knew. I hear with my eyes too, I say. I know, Lola says. I can tell. And she winks.